Welcome back, friends. It's Anders. Today we're going to be making the Delmonico Special. Now, if you are at all familiar with this drink, you might know that it actually has a few different names. It also goes by Delmonico number 1 or simply the Delmonico, although technically that's a different cocktail, so I'm going to get into it. Now, it's a gin-based cocktail that is classic, and if you like a Wet Martini or a Martinez, you might want to give this one a shot. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for more sips, tips, and recipes. Let's go make the Delmonico Special. To the bar. So the Delmonico Special. This drink was born at the Delmonico Restaurant, which is a New York institution. Well, it's kind of a funny story. It dates back to the 1800s, 1820s to be specific. I think 1827, but that doesn't matter. Over the past nearly 200 years, there have been a number of different incarnations of the restaurant because some burnt down or I don't know what happened, but they moved around and we don't really know where this cocktail came from, which one of those Delmonico restaurants. But a lot of historians, by a lot of them, I think maybe like 2 or 3 historians, believe that it actually dates back to the original Delmonico restaurant. So if you're not familiar with Delmonico, Delmonico? I think I'm gonna call it Delmonico's. I think it's Delmonico's. I've never been, so forgive me. If you're not familiar with Delmonico's, it is a culinary institution considered to be the first fine dining restaurant in the United States. From there, we get Eggs Benedict, the Wedge Salad, Baked Alaska, the Delmonico Stake, amongst other things. A lot of other dishes that you probably have heard of and maybe even eaten. So that's great. And also, this cocktail came from the same place, Delmonico's. So here's the deal. So this cocktail, kind of like the restaurant had all these different locations and different identities, I guess you could say. This cocktail kind of has different identities. It also goes by the name the Delmonico, or the Delmonico number 1, but I call it the Delmonico Special because of David Embry. In his book, The Fine Art of Mixing Drinks, he has the Delmonico and the Delmonico Special, separate cocktails. Let me read to you what he says. All caps, Delmonico. This is a plain Manhattan with cognac substituted for the whiskey. That's it, plain and simple. A Delmonico, according to Embry, is a cognac Manhattan. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. That's actually a really tasty drink. Now, he writes, if orange bitters are used instead of Angostura, it becomes a Harvard. We're not gonna talk about the Harvard right now. Then says, this is also sometimes called a Saratoga. Not gonna talk about that either. And then jumps back in and says, there's also a Delmonico Special, which is merely a medium martini with 1 teaspoonful of brandy to each drink and a twist of orange peel. So clearly, the Delmonico and the Delmonico Special here, according to Embry, are 2 separate cocktails, even though today you will often see the names interchangeable for the same drink. And by the way, that drink that you usually see is actually the Delmonico Special. Oh, and medium martini right here. When he says that, he's referring to a perfect martini, which by now you should know what that means. I'll give you a moment to answer. Equal parts sweet and dry vermouth, very good, nailed it. Also, 1 teaspoonful of brandy is a very small amount. So it's become common to bump that up, which is exactly what we're gonna be doing in our recipe today. So now you might be wondering, well, what about the Delmonico number 1? That's another name for this drink. I don't know where that came from. If you do, leave a comment down below. But it's the same drink, the same thing. Now the booze. Again, Cognac, Vermouth, another Vermouth. To make the Delmonico Special, we will need gin, Cognac, sweet vermouth, Blanc or dry vermouth, and Angostura Bitters. Gin is the base. I really like Plymouth gin here. I'm going with the Navy Strength because I'm cutting back on the gin in this cocktail, but regular strength is also gonna work. I've had this cocktail with a London Dry, tried it with an Old Tom, and the Plymouth gin really just it hits that sweet spot. The Cognac, we're gonna add a little bit, not as little as a teaspoonful. It's just gonna complement the gin like Cognac does in so many other cocktails. Sweet vermouth. So here's where you get to make this cocktail your own. You get to pick the vermouths that you want in the drink. Because this drink is gin based, that keeps things light, so I do like a richer vermouth, something like the Cocchi Vermouth Torino. Works really well. And then I'm using a Blanc vermouth instead of a dry vermouth, which gives it a little bit of creaminess, but a dry vermouth is also gonna work really well. And then of course the bitters does its bitters thing. Let's build. All right, great. So here we go. We are going to serve this up, so get your glassware chilled. Obviously it's all spirit, so we are going to stir this drink. We're gonna start with the gin, or as the snooty people say, gin. 1 ounce of gin. Then half an ounce of cognac or cognac. Don't call it cognac. Don't do that. Half an ounce of sweet vermouth and half an ounce of Blanc vermouth or dry vermouth. And then 2 full dashes of Angostura Bitters. Now we can add ice and stir. Yeah, stir away. This ice is super cold, so I'm gonna stir a little bit longer. My rocks are hard.
Oh God.
I think I'm just gonna call it there. Good. Go ahead and grab your ice cold glassware and strain the cocktail off into your glass. Finally, we are going to express orange oil across the top, hit the sides as always, and then make this look pretty because we're gonna use it as a garnish. A little do my good old loop-de-doop. There. What do you think? Pretty good, right? Yeah, very good. There we are, ladies and gentlemen, the Delmonico Special. Cheers. All right, so there it is. What a beautiful looking drink, huh? Just, wow, stunning. I will say, it's a nice color. A lot of cocktails are kind of a brownish orange color, and this one is no different. It smells good. I smell orange. I can also smell a little bit of the sweet vermouth, that richness. Cheers. Quite nice. It's a very civilized cocktail, if I do say so myself. You get the gin, it's this brightness, but there's still these creamier, heavier notes of the vermouth, a little bit of that cola flavor from this vermouth in particular, and there's a pepperiness from the bitters. Now, the cognac gives it a roundness, really brings it all together, so it makes it a little difficult to pick out the individual components of the drink, which is what's great about cognac. It says, everybody get in here, I'm gonna hold you all together, and we are gonna be stronger together as one, as opposed to everybody doing their own thing. It's just like, we're just gonna do this together. We all need a little cognac in the world right now. Oh man, you know what I'm getting right now? I'm getting a little bit of that Blanc vermouth. Blanc. Blanc means white in French. It looks like Blanc, and that's what I always say, but actually I believe it's called Blanc. So, and you know what? I'm a huge fan of Blanc vermouth because it gives it a nice creaminess, and man, is it good. So give it a try and let me know if you do in the comments down below. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. I always am so happy that people show up and watch these videos. Don't forget your merch, sign up for the newsletter. I will see you next time. Already looking forward to it, already. Cheers. Bye. Okay? Good? You're still here. Don't make this awkward. Please don't make this awkward. We'll see you next week. We'll do this again with another cocktail.